Have you ever bought something and later you find out that you don't need it? Guess what? The salesman manipulated you into buying it. These are mind control skills people learn, and you too can master them and will never fall victim again. This is a two-sided coin. Mastering these skills will help you stay alert on business negotiations in your favor and make personal decisions instead of allowing people to influence or persuade you in doing them. It is a win-win game. Manipulation is something that happens every day of our lives. From friends, business partners, relationships, family members, and even children do it unconsciously when they want something from their parents, with no harm intended, which is just the way people try to get what they want by influencing your decision. Anytime you make a decision based on someone's opinion and regret afterward, you have been manipulated. All you need is to simply learn how to influence people by understanding and applying the psychology of manipulating and influencing anyone using the power of persuasion. Do you want to learn how to influence people through persuasion? Then you'll need to read this book. But before you do, let's go through the key points it will teach you in the hope to influence you to read it, because although we give you a great summary, what's written on by the author can never be replaced. The Psychology of How to Manipulate and Influence Anyone Using the Power of Persuasion by Maxwell Nelson is the book that will help you live life more conscious. Learn to recognize when someone is trying to manipulate you with no harm intended, and also learn how you can do this yourself in order to always get what you want, both in business and personal life. You can get whatever you have decided to achieve in life by simply learning the act of manipulating people by persuasion, using two powerful and pragmatic bullets, which are logic and emotions. Manipulation by logic is simply the act of expressing your ideas clearly and succinctly, using specific facts and figures that may be very rational, realistic, and sensible, and then persuading people to oblige and cooperate. In most cases, despite the rationality behind your ideas and facts, people may not oblige them. Emotional appeal is the best way to pass our ideas on to others and get them to respond immediately and positively. If you can speed read a person's mind and thoughts using their body language positions at a given time, you will be able to preempt the actions. This skill will enable you to persuade them using their emotional circumstances carefully. Human beings have been regarded as emotional, therefore, your ability in using the psychological ambience to influence a person is a great virtue which high-skilled manipulators possess. This book will also teach you other ways of influencing a person to get what you want, such as manipulative looks and stares, shouting down at someone or yelling, manipulations by avoiding you at all means, the preferential of silent treatment, playing on the emotions, cold behaviors, unduly obstinate and difficult, unnecessary deadline pressures, suspending sex, food, and other gratifications, unsolicited gifts, treats, and favors, manipulation using compliments and flattery. This book is an exceptional manual on ways to manipulate people. It's written to enlighten you on how to always have your way by influencing people tactically through persuasion as you associate with others every day. Other very useful ideas to learn from written on this book's pages are ways to manipulate and persuade people, all the necessary steps to use in manipulating people, ways of manipulating people using your body language, ways to ensure your manipulative traits are not exposed, and many other vital ideas that can help you in getting whatever you want from anybody. Now, let's take a look at those 11 ways you can influence a person or notice that someone is using them while trying to manipulate you. Manipulative looks and stares are the first methods to use in order to persuade someone to do exactly what you want. It's commonly believed that if someone is looking you straight in the eye, they're telling you the truth. However, manipulators can hold eye contact for a long time. In fact, A manipulator or liar intently watches their victim and looks continuously in their eyes to determine if the victim is falling for their ploy. If someone looks you straight in the eye and does not usually do so, they could be lying. Another important secret about a manipulator's eyes is the blink rate. Blinking can reveal what is going on in a person's neurology. An increased blink rate may indicate rising adrenaline, stress, or fear. Reduced blinking conveys more focus or relaxation depending on the context of the situation. Shouting down at someone or yelling is another form of manipulating that is done when someone either wants you to fear them or might recognize that when they yell you back off to keep the peace, and so they learn to use anger as a form of emotional and behavioral manipulation. This means that when someone is angry, they'll use the power of that anger to feel superior to someone, which is why they'll shout or yell at them, desiring to control this person into reacting a certain way and basically show them who's the boss. Manipulation by avoiding you by all means is done with the intention of controlling or manipulating the other person's behavior or emotions. For example, if someone is intentionally ignoring another person in order to punish them or make them feel guilty, but also to make them come to you and basically beg for your attention. Preferential or silent treatment refers to intentionally withdrawing from an interaction, refusing to engage further, and shutting the other person out for extended periods. When this happens, the person on the receiving end feels invisible, like they don't matter. People also use the silent treatment to punish, control, wither, and destroy anyone who dares to oppose, question, or criticize them. Playing on emotions or emotional manipulation occurs when a manipulative person seeks power over someone else and employs dishonest or exploitative strategies to gain it. Unlike people in healthy relationships, which demonstrate reciprocity and cooperation, an emotional manipulator looks to use, control, or even victimize someone else. Some of the signs of emotional manipulation are passive aggression, distortion, guilt and sympathy, withdrawal, comparison, as well as overwhelming and unearned closeness. Cold behaviors are where there might be a complete breakdown in communication, like not responding to emails, social media, text, etc. You may not even see the individual who was signing your praises for a long time, as if they'd simply vanished off the face of the earth. This is the common practice of ignoring or icing someone out who has acted in a way the manipulator finds undesirable, such as stonewalling or withholding affection. Unduly obstinate and difficult as a form of manipulation is basically when someone consistently refuses to compromise, listen to others, or engage in a reasonable and respectful manner. They can create an environment of conflict, tension, and frustration. This can be a way of controlling the situation, achieving their goals, or avoiding accountability. In such cases, the person may be motivated by a desire to gain power, control, or an advantage over others. Their behavior can prevent others from effectively communicating or collaborating, and can result in decisions or outcomes that are not in the best interests of all parties involved. Unnecessary deadline pressures are, for example, if an individual or organization sets unrealistic or unnecessary deadlines for their employees or partners. It can be seen as a way of exerting control or putting pressure on them to comply with their demands. In such cases, the use of deadlines may not be motivated by a genuine desire to improve efficiency or productivity, but rather by a desire to control the situation or gain an advantage over others. In some instances, deadlines may even be used as a form of punishment or as a means of avoiding accountability. Suspending sex, food, and other gratifications is when someone uses these things as bargaining chips or as a means of control. It can be a form of emotional or psychological manipulation. For example, a partner might withhold affection, intimacy, or basic necessities like food as a way of coercing or punishing their partner into complying with their demands. This kind of behavior can be damaging to the relationship and can create an environment of fear, tension, and uncertainty. Unsolicited gifts, treats, and favors may seem like kind gestures on the surface, but they can be used as a way of buying someone's affection, influencing their behavior, or creating a sense of obligation. For example, an individual may use gifts or favors as a way of getting someone to do what they want or to sway them to their point of view. Manipulation using compliments and flattery is often used by underconfident people to feel more powerful and to win approval. Passive-aggressive people use it to get their own way. It's widely used by people who want to get into the good books of others or to help them achieve their own goals. Also, sociopaths are adept at fooling other people with flattery. It accompanies a clever and manipulative way of passing the buck or giving someone else the job or task that the soft-soaper wants to subtly hand over. This brings us to the end of today's video. Remember, you should always read a book, as these summaries are here to simply give you a glimpse of what's written on those pages. Once you finish reading it, let us know in the comments about your favorite lesson. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified whenever we post a new book summary.